the Outdoor Journal.
Today on the Outdoor Journal, join Angelo Viola in Montana as he visits the legendary Garnet Ghost Town. On Surviving the Outdoors, journey along with Pete Bowman as he teaches us the proper way to build a snow shelter. Then on Off the Beaten Path, Audrey Hall goes to school. Skydiving school, that is. All this and more coming up on the Outdoor Journal.
I saw a man, a woman, and a small child walking about 30 yards behind me. I hadn't talked to anybody for a week or two, and I was surprised to see them. I decided it'd be nice to find out what they were doing here in Garnet. So I turned around to call to them again, and no one was there. Hi folks, I'm Angelo Viola. Welcome to the Outdoor Journal, and welcome to the Big Sky state of Montana, where I'm about to partake in an experience that I've always wanted to do, but for one reason or another never have, and that is experience a true ghost town. But I'm not talking about any old ghost town. I'm talking about the most celebrated ghost town in North America, Garnet. I'm going to take a horse ride up to the scene of the last real gold rush boom in this country, and more importantly, spend some time with a wacky ranger there who's got some weird stories in this book called Big Sky Ghosts. My hair-raising experience started with a flight to the state capital of Montana, Helena. The minute you set foot in this inspiring state, you can sense you're in a very special place. From the airport, it's a scenic drive east on Route 200 to the Garnet Cutoff. Then it's 11 miles of twisting, winding gravel road taking you further and further into them thar hills. The perfect setting for a ghoulish encounter. And to top it all off, the weather dipped to freezing, making the goosebumps even bigger. Beautiful, bone-chilling weather. What a time to visit a ghost town. Now, to further heighten my experience, I'm going to be employing a means of transportation that the original inhabitants of Garnet probably used, and that is horseback. And my partner today, my riding mate today, is going to be Jody Hooker from Garnet Historical Tours.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jody. How are you?
Good.
I am pumped.
I'm ready to go for a ride.
You have no idea how long I've waited for this. Now, we're going to be doing it via horseback, but I guess you can drive up or walk up or just about any other way. There's a road that actually will take you up to the town itself.
Right. You know, you can drive in there quite easily, but going on horseback is just so much better.
You couldn't have written
a lot
a better
more
script.
romantic.
Absolutely. And that's mine over there, I take it?
Yes.
All right, let's mount up.
Let's go for a ride.
Jody, it doesn't get any better than this, let me tell you. I mean, you might take this for granted, doing it, I don't know, you do this every day, I would imagine, or close to it, but it is breathtaking.
It's especially pretty with all the snow on the trees and how green it is.
What's this, Jody?
This building here dates back to the 1880s. It was a boarding house.
Now, how do you know it was 1880?
Well, you know, there's some newspaper on the wall there, and it dates May 24th, 1880. And this was quite a fancy place at one time.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look haunted, or it doesn't look like part of the ghost town so far, Jody.
There's been sightings.
Uh-huh. That's it. We are in Garnet. This is exciting.
This is it. This is as far as I go.
Oh, you don't go right into town?
No, we don't go right into the ghost town at all.
Any particular reason? Or?
Well, you know, they claim there's a lot of sightings there in the ghost town.
Right, Jody, nice try. So you're going to make me walk the rest of the way?
Well, you know, you're right around the corner.
All right. Now I'm meeting up with Dwight, I guess it is, the caretaker? Yeah.
Dwight? I see.
What do you mean you see? What's that face for?
Well,
he's the guy I've read about him in the book. He's in the book I was reading last night.
Yes. I've read about him as well, and I'll tell you, well,
he's not all there, is he? I could tell he's not all there, is he? The way you're looking at me. Well, Jody, I gotta go in.
All right. Well, I'll take your horse and I'll meet you in a little while.
Okay, Jody. Take care. So while I go and look for Dwight the Ranger, why don't we have a look at this week's Surviving the Outdoors?
Okay, folks. I got a real situation at hand here. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. It's absolutely freezing, about 40 below. I don't think I'm gonna make it home by tonight, so I'm gonna have to stay out here and brave the elements and stay overnight. So the first thing I gotta do is find some place to build a shelter. That looks perfect. I won't even have to build too much here. That's a perfect windbreak. As you can see, that's what's happened with the wind. Okay, this is a low area like this. It could be a creek or something. It actually feels like ice there. Yeah, it is. So, but it's solid enough to hold me, so I'm not too worried about it, folks. And under here, there's gonna be no ice anyways. It looks like the creek is going to end, the creek bed. This is perfect. Look at this. It's already the Lord made a windbreak for me, so to speak. I gotta get down low like this. That wind will go right over top of my head. So I'm gonna try and dig a hole out here. If it doesn't work here, if the snow's not packy enough, I'm gonna go back up to where I was right there, and I can dig a pit there. But this is the absolute perfect spot. And take this backpack off. Now, I got this monopod with me in my backpack. I'm sure I could find anything that I could dig with. I mean, this is photo gear. I got tripod mounts or something you could dig with. If you got a frying pan with you, you can dig with that. If you're wearing snowshoes, use your snowshoes to dig. Or the good old gloves. If you got good hands, warm hands with mitts, you can do that. I'll just make a little outline. I gotta keep it a little bit high. I'm not a very big guy, maybe about a 6-foot pit at more than hold me. Something like that. Maybe like that, not very high. Make a little outline like that. And I'm gonna start digging away. Now what I'm gonna do is dig straight into there, only enough that I need to get my whole body in there. And we'll take it from there. I like to use the mitts. It reminds me of when I was a kid. This is good snow for this. Look at how packy that is. That is perfect for making a pit. So I'm gonna dig away like this and get my pit. Let's get a look at some other ideas you can do for the same instant.
Hopefully you'll never be in a situation like I'm in today, folks. But if you are, looking for a spot to sleep just takes common sense. Almost any type of natural or man-made windbreak is what's needed. In my case today, this stand of evergreens looks pretty good. They make a great windbreak. But there wasn't really enough deep snow around, so I'll keep on looking and maybe use this spot as a backup. There's a few different ideas you can use when building a snow shelter. First, a simple pit or trench in the ground, around 2.5 to 3 feet deep, and about a foot or two longer than your body length. The extra length is for the cold air sink, where the coldest air in the trench will always settle into. Other ideas like an igloo are great if you have the time and the building skills, or something as simple as a natural hollow under evergreens, like I was looking for earlier.
Alrighty, I got my mattress, I got my blankets, I got my covers all in one shot, folks. These things are gonna be perfect. Like I said, taking them down, I don't recommend wrecking Mother Nature, but in today's instance, if I'm gonna stay in this stuff, the only way to do it, man, is to build up. So first thing I'm gonna do is get a little bedding there. I'm gonna separate me from the snow. Although the snow is good insulation, that's a little bit of separation. The heat rises, so it'll just stay between me and the snow, a little bit of heat. So I'm just gonna lay a few down there on the bottom. Some nice thick ones, thick but smaller ones. So I cut them small, like that. It might not be the most comfortable bed in the world, but it'll be a lot better than frozen in a snowbank somewhere. Up on top. Okay, that's a good little bedding area. Now, I gotta cover this area off. Okay, maybe the wind will shift tonight. I doubt it, but the wind might shift. If the wind starts coming this way, I'm euchre. It's gonna be really cold then. I got a bit of a break there, but so all I do is just build it so that I get these things above me like that. That's perfect. Now you could also use blocks of snow. Let's say I could cut blocks. This snow is perfect for cutting. I can cut out some blocks and maybe lay them down here in front of that. They work really good too. It's almost like an igloo then. But these are gonna get me by here for sure. So, give me another long one. Oh yeah, there's a couple of beauties here. Look at this baby taking form, folks. Your bed might be a little more comfortable than mine tonight, but I guarantee you we'll both be waking up tomorrow, and that's the importance of my stay here. Okay, I gotta leave a hole to get in. One more there, maybe. I'm gonna shove a few more in there and get myself lots and lots of separation and insulation. You guys got your nice corner cozy mattresses. I'm gonna have mine flop a bit of snow on this just for weight. That's not gonna make a whole lot of difference, but one more laying on top. Sneak in my little abode. I'll put this right here and here. I don't think anybody's gonna steal my camera gear on me tonight because there ain't anybody around here. If they are, they better save me. Sneak in in my hole. Into the heat city. Now, isn't that perfect? Good night, folks. I'll see you in the morning. Whew. Beauty.
Coming up, a walk through the Garnet ghost town with its caretaker and learning how to skydive. And now, back to the Outdoor Journal.
It's hard enough to believe that these buildings were first erected over 100 years ago in 1895. But what's even more incredible is that Garnet had a population then of over 1,000 people. Alrighty. I think this is it here. Yep, guard's cabin. Dwight's home. Hello? Dwight? Dwight? I guess he's not home. He said he was going to meet me here at the guard's cabin.
Angelo!
You got to be Dwight.
I'm Dwight. Welcome.
Well, I don't know whether I feel welcome or not. You do that one too many times.
Well, I'm trying to make sure you're awake.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I'm a little on the edge here. I read your stories last night, and I rode up here with Jody Hooker. She was telling me all about the place. So I'm a little on the edge. So if I jump too many times, you'll excuse me.
All right, I'll understand.
Show me around. I've heard so much about Garnet.
Great.
And I got to have a look.
Okay. You shut the door. Let's take
Back
a
up
little
this
walk.
way? All right. So this is the main area of town?
What you're looking at, this was the original Main Street here, and it all burnt in a fire in 1912. This was false front buildings on both sides.
Ah, there it is, tavern. Now, was this obviously belong to somebody, or?
It was one of the saloons that was run until the 60s.
No kidding.
Yeah. Come on in.
Let's
show
belly
you what's
up.
in here.
Wow. You know, although I was expecting something a little larger.
You know, now you can see why they needed 13 saloons in a town this size. If this is all the bigger the average saloon was.
They had 13 saloons.
13 saloons, yeah.
Why do they call them ghost towns? I'm curious.
The biggest thing is because when people left and the town was abandoned, they left so fast and so suddenly they only took what they could carry. So the beds were still made. The clothing was still in the closet, like people were just on vacation. But they were gone and everybody was gone. I tell you what, we got to go into the hotel and kind of give you a, see if what's left in there. So what kind of feel
That's the big building we saw from outside?
Building. Sure.
Great. It's ironic that Garnet, one of the oldest and best preserved ghost towns in North America, was originally constructed as a temporary haven for prospectors whose sole interest was to play out the rich deposits and make quick fortunes before moving on to the next claim. Wow. What do we got here?
Well, this is the dining area of the J.K. Wells Hotel. It had 12 tables in it originally. Imagine 12 tables in this little area.
Can you imagine the chaos and commotion? And
imagine being a waitress in here.
wow. How about heat? What are they?
The only heat in the dining area was that stove there, and there was no heat, of course, up in the second story. The only heat in the wintertime is what rose through the floors, so it's quite cold up there.
They had wallpaper and whatnot?
Real fancy wallpaper. You can see where before we started the restoration, where people have cut squares out.
Yeah.
And
you know, one of the most amazing things that I'm finding here is that the lack of electricity. Just a simple little thing like electricity,
yeah.
you know, to live without
Which-
is fabulous. This is great.
You know, I think you're about ready. We've taken you in, got you the feel a little bit. I think it's about ready. We take you over to last best place. You read it in the book. Now I'm going to show you where it all happened.
Buddy here is going to take me to a spot where he saw something, an apparition. Before we go there, here's this week's Off the Beaten Path. Come on, come on.
Let's go.
Wow, skydiving. What a sport. They're actually skydiving now with surfboards on. But I'm going to save that adventure for another show. Before I can jump today, I've got to go to school first. So off I go. Skydiving is actually a very safe sport, and the Parachute School of Toronto has one of the best safety records in North America. The course begins with a slideshow that covers everything from different wind speeds and directions to possible parachute malfunctions. That's right, you go over all situations that occur during your jump. The instructor then demonstrates all the equipment we will be using throughout the course, and before we can move on, we all have to pass a written test on what we've already learned. Now it's time to practice what we've seen in the slideshow. We first go to a mock plane setup to learn how to properly position ourselves during takeoff and to practice our exits for when it comes time to finally jump. Then we have to learn how to land, first from a standing position, then from an elevated platform. Learning proper landing techniques ensures no injuries will occur when we reach the ground. Next, in my opinion, is the most important. We are put in a harness that helps simulate the sensation of being in the air, first to learn how to toggle or steer the parachute, then to learn how to operate your emergency parachute or your reserve chute. The instructor drills us on all emergency procedures, and once we've assured him we know the drills inside and out, we get to pack up our test reserves and get ready to really jump. The instructor controlling the jump, or the jump master, checks over all our equipment to ensure it is in good working order. He then loads us onto the plane. There's no turning back now. I feel calm, cool, and collected. You're right, the anticipation up here is killing me. The jump master lets me know it's my turn, gets me into my exit position, and tells me when to go. I am happy to report my chute fully opened. For me, the worst part is over. All I have to do now is listen to the directions being given to me over the radio from an instructor on the ground on how to toggle my chute and land safely. Whew! My landing was softer than I anticipated. Oh man, this is so cool. I'm packing this up and doing it again. And if this turns you on, you can do it too. Just call 1-800-DO-1-JUMP.
And now for your travel tips. Passport.
My frequent flight destination, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The village of Arthur, Ontario is at the crossroads of two major provincial highways providing direct access to all of southern Ontario and the north-central U.S. Although the actual village of Arthur is small in size and population, more than 250,000 people live within a 30-mile radius of this quaint community. The beautiful Conestoga River meanders along the edge of the village with a scenic hiking trail. Autumn is a colorful and great time to visit Arthur. And during my skydiving adventure, I stayed at the Highlander Inn, located right in the heart of downtown Arthur.
Coming up, more spooky tales from the Garnet Ghost Town. And now, back to the Outdoor Journal.
There have been several unexplained paranormal experiences documented here in Garnet, but there's nothing like hearing it from the horse's mouth, especially if it's a character like Dwight.
Well, this is Davies Mercantile we're going to step into right here.
Look at this place. One thing I've noticed, everything is gloomy.
Oh, yeah, and kind of that feeling that you're not real sure and comfortable to...
Well, no, it's just, yeah, okay. I can buy that. It's gloomy.
Okay. Well, this is, I didn't bring you over here to look at this. What I really brought you over here for was, you read about it in the book. This is where it happened.
The story about the spurs and the whole bit?
The spurs and the whole work.
On this walkway?
On the wood walkway here.
All right. I got time. Tell me what happened.
Okay. I was sitting over there on the bench in front of the visitor center, and I could hear a noise. And what I heard was a sound of spurs. You know, the jingle that spurs
First of all,
me?
was this daylight?
Yeah, right before dark. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, someplace in there.
Had you been in the cabin
No,
partaking
no,
in any
no,
refreshments?
no.
Or, no, I just want to get. I want to get it all straight. Right
Now,
now.
I was working all day, and it was just getting quitting time, and I was sitting down relaxing for a few moments, and the jingle of spurs, there's a definite sound
Yeah,
that spurs make,
yeah.
and I could hear them. And when I tracked out this noise, it was on this wood walkway.
Did you walk over here?
I walked right over here, stood right in front, and actually watched these boards. As a person stepped on them, you could see the boards move, and then the jingle of the spur, and the next board move, and then the jingle of the spur. It walked off the end, and I never heard or saw it again.
I think we need to get you back to the cabin, buddy. And just
Coffee time, is
you'll
it?
be all right. Here we go, buddy. Home sweet home. I'm going to put you up on that couch, take your shoes off. In about 3 or 4 weeks, you ought to be all back.
I'm telling you, you never know. The day isn't over yet.
Buddy. Certainly hope you've enjoyed today's program. Now, even though Dwight and I have used quite a bit of satire in today's show, there have been some pretty strange and spooky stories that have come out of this town. That doesn't mean that everybody that visits Garnett is going to have a paranormal experience. After all, even though the spirits do abound here, it doesn't mean that they perform on demand. Right, Dwight? 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 Dwight?